Yeah, y'all can see me good. Look, man, I got the glasses on today, y'all. I'm over here looking super smart. I don't even know if y'all can see my face or what, but look. Today, I'm gonna be talking to y'all about what I got myself for my birthday. It was a pretty amazing gift, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you. This is not necessarily an unboxing video. It's more so like a review video and just kind of like my personal opinion. Now, I'm not the expert on this. This video is not endorsed or sponsored by DJI or none of that. I'm just giving y'all my personal opinion, fresh out the box, noticeable differences, things like that. And today what I'm going to be talking to you guys about is the DJI Ronin RS4 Pro, which is what I decided to gift myself for my birthday. As you guys know, being a content creator is definitely a journey in and of itself, and the more you learn on your journey, the further along you go. So what I learned was that as I'm continuing to invest in gear and lenses and all the things, I have to keep improving with like these gimbals, because certain gimbals only hold a certain amount of weight. And once I got that 70 to 200, it was time to upgrade. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about this gimbal right here, which is the DJI Ronin RS4. And this right here is my old gimbal that I was using before it, which was the DJI RS3 Mini. Now, the reason why I had the Mini to begin with was because the Mini can support pretty much any camera, any lens, until you start getting into telephoto lenses. Like once you start getting into the 70 to 200s and beyond, this RS3 Mini will not hold the weight of the camera and the lens, but everything else, it will hold. I mean, I was using a Sony a7 IV with this gimbal, and it held all of my G Masters just fine. Never had any issues. I had the G Master 16 to 35 and the G Master 24 to 70, but once I moved up to the G Master 70 to 200, this gimbal was no longer of use to me. However, it's still an amazing gimbal. I would recommend it. If you know about gimbals and you know how to use them, and you're familiar with how they work, and you just need a great quality one, excellent one, like you don't have to have top of the line, I would recommend the DJI RS3 Mini for sure. Definitely no bad things to say about this gimbal at all. As you can see, you know, these two gimbals have a significant size difference. This one is less than half the size of this one. Now, the RS4 Pro weighs about 6.6 pounds. And so I would just, if I had to guess, I would say the RS3 Mini weighs about 2.75 to maybe 3 pounds, 3.3 pounds, somewhere between there. But this gimbal is pretty huge. Now, I don't know if y'all can hear my neighbor building whatever he's building in his garage, but it's pretty annoying in real life. So hopefully you guys don't hear it. But like I say, I have nothing bad to say about the RS3 Mini, but noticeable difference is the size is crazy. And also too, like I added this support arm to my gimbal. I added it, I bought this from Small Rig, this little handle right here. It just gives you an extra way to hold the gimbal, you know what I mean? And maneuver it when you're trying to shoot different things. Just gives you an extra level of support. I really love this gimbal a lot. Even though this video is not about the RS3 Mini, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it its flowers, because like I said, it's not a bad gimbal. And what I like about this gimbal the most is you can carry it for long periods of time without it, you know, hurting your arms. You know, 2 to 3 pounds is not heavy at all. Even if you're shooting all day, like this is not a burden to carry, at least not to me. So that's just one thing I did want to say about it. So if you're looking for a durable, reliable gimbal, I would suggest go ahead and invest into the RS3 Mini, because it's gonna hold every camera that you have, every lens that you have. But once you start getting into telephoto lenses, then you might want to upgrade to something a little bit more heavy duty. So I'm gonna put that to the side, and let's talk about what we really came here to talk about, you feel me? And that is, voila, your DJI Ronin RS4 Pro gimbal. Now, significant changes with this gimbal right here. Like this, first of all, this is the case that it came in, y'all. This is a nice little carrying case, you feel me? I don't even know what this is made out of, some sort of, who knows? But on the front of it, it says DJI Pro etched on the front, right? And then if you open it, You have all these compartments of just like pockets where you can, you know, just put your cables and your extra batteries and all the little things. And then you have like another little, let me turn it this way. Kind of like a little divider with even more pockets right here. You flip that over, you have a little cargo net right here where you can store whatever you need to store in there. And then you have the actual place for where your gimbal is stored once it's folded. And you got a strap that you could even strap it in so it's not moving around in there. So I think that's pretty cool. This carrying case is really nice. I can't remember if my RS3 Mini came with a carrying case. In fact, I don't believe it did, because I remember I had to buy one off Amazon. And so that was the first difference. Obviously, opening the box, this is the first thing you see. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, when you first open it up, which like I say, this is not an unboxing, it's more so just like a first looks review. The gimbal is collapsed. So it's not like the way you see it now. It's more so like this, and then and then it's like that. So this part, as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and just build it for you so you can kind of know what's in there, right? Boom. So first of all, this is the BG30 grip, but this is also your battery for the gimbal. And this is not the extended battery. This is just the one that the RS4 Pro comes with. It's gonna give you up to 12 hours of battery life. Now, I don't know what determines if you get to 12 or if you don't, but up to 12 hours. I mean, they could have put up to 1,000,000 hours, you know what I'm saying? Because that means anything from 0 to 1,000,000, but they put up to 12. So I don't really know, you know, exactly how much battery life is on this. I don't know, maybe I should just cut the gimbal on for a day and tell y'all, but I don't have time for that. So up to 12 hours of battery life is what you get with this one. Now, if you get the extended grip, you can shoot for up to 29 hours. I think the extended grip is maybe like 100 and something. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. I haven't looked up the price, but this one, you get up to 12 hours. And seeing as how nobody really shoots with a gimbal for 12 hours straight, this is really good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out here shooting movies just yet or nothing like that, where I'm just, oh my God, I need extra batteries fast. Like, I'm not doing all that. So this is good enough for me. So then you have the actual gimbal in and of itself. It comes in the carrying case all collapsed and stuff like this. And this is your meat and potatoes right here, or at least the other half of it. So I like this brain here. I think it's pretty dope. I like how it feels like they just put a lot more work into this one. The screen is a little bit bigger, a little bit, not by that much, but I would say the screen on here is about as big as my Apple Watch Ultra. So that's pretty big. And you could just feel in your hand just by holding this, like how heavy duty and like real deal this is. So when you put these two together, you're gonna put that in there. And then of course, these are your tripod legs that it comes with. Comes with these extra sturdy tripod legs so that when you're not using your gimbal, you could just put it right here on the table like so, right? So this gimbal has already been balanced to a certain degree to hold a certain lens. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know, kind of like uncollapse it, so just so you guys can see. One thing I noticed right off the bat is that on both sides of this gimbal, you have a place to add additional support arms on both sides. If you like to have the dual grip when you're using your gimbal, you want to be able to add arms on both sides. And that was something that really annoyed me with the RS3 Mini. You can only put a support arm on one side with that gimbal. But with this one, you can put one on both. And I'm gonna do another video showing you guys how I built this one to my satisfaction once I added on my support arms and stuff. But just for the sake of this video, I'm just kind of giving y'all just like an overview of what it's like coming out the box. So boom, support arms on both sides. I think that's really dope. Another thing I think is dope is that how many times have you turned your gimbal off without locking all your axes, right? And what happens? Your camera falls over and all the things, and you be like, oh, you feel me? Trying to make sure you don't drop your camera, and like, oh my God, you just have so many close calls. One of the things I like about this gimbal is that if you accidentally cut the gimbal off, it locks itself. Like there's a feature on it to where it'll lock itself, and you can set the feature to, do you want it to collapse or go back into the collapse position like it is right now in center, or do you just want to keep it in the uncollapsed position the way it was and it'll just automatically lock and stay how it is. So I prefer the latter. Like if I accidentally turn off my gimbal, I just want it to kind of stay where it's at. I don't want to be, oh my God, you know what I mean? I don't want to be shocked by no sudden movements and none of that. And so that's a pretty dope feature that I like to use with this gimbal. Now, if you go inside the DJI Ronin app, there's different features that you could use with the gimbal once you hook it up to your Bluetooth. The feature that I like using the most is the track feature. And basically, you can set up points in your room and tell your camera or tell your gimbal to move from this point to this point in 10 seconds. And then from this point to this point, you can set as many points as you want. And if you get really good at that, you can actually shoot a scene to where it looks like the camera is following you wherever you go, but it's not following you wherever you go. You're just in sync with the time that you set in your phone versus what you're doing. So I think that's pretty dope. Then there's a virtual joystick feature. Not really sure what you're supposed to do with that, but I haven't really experimented as much as I should have. But again, this is just first looks and what I immediately noticed. Also too, like the motors on the RS4 Pro are super ginormous. Like they're a lot bigger than the motors that were on the RS3 Mini. Like there's a motor here, there's a motor here, and then there's like a nucleus. The brain of the gimbal is like right here. And you could just tell, and by looking at it, like how dope or how much time and effort they put into really upgrading these motors and why they're so powerful. Like it makes sense when you look at it, you know? And then one of the other coolest things I noticed about this gimbal is that there's a switch on the side of the screen that if you flip it up, then it controls the zoom on your camera lens. You're now controlling the zoom in, zoom out feature. So if you see this, so I have flipped. Now, mind you, my camera's not even on this gimbal. My camera's over there on the tripod, but the gimbal and the camera are connected by Bluetooth. So check me out. I flipped the switch up, and now I'm gonna use the joystick to control my zoom. As you can see, zoom out, zoom in. How cool is that? Just from the gimbal. How dope is that, right? That's super dope. Now, I think I'm on my 24-70 right now, so we like in hella close. But if I zoom out, look, there's me. You see what I'm saying? I think that is so cool, being able to control your camera zoom from your gimbal, because you need to really be able to do everything from your gimbal. I can also stop and start record from the gimbal, which I think is dope. So now we're gonna zoom back out from the gimbal. Like I'm not doing nothing. Now say if I'm zoomed all the way in, right? Or zoomed in quite a bit like I am right now, I'm gonna push the switch down to the bottom. At this point, now we're back to controlling the gimbal itself, and it controls your camera movement. As you can see, it tilts the camera up and down. You see? So you can actually, say you zoomed all the way in and you want to get a better look, you can actually switch between controlling your camera and controlling your gimbal. I think that's one of the coolest things about this gimbal. I love just the range of motion that it has. I mean, look at that. It goes all the way up. It goes all the way down. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. So I think that's really dope. So now say we done shooting, getting all our angles, we back where we want to be. We're going to recenter the gimbal like so. Check me out. And it's either up or down. There is no middle. It's either the up switch or the down switch. You either in one mode or the other one. So we're going to go back to the zoom mode and we're going to zoom on out. That's fire, right? You can't tell me that's not fire, bro. I think that's super dope. I think that's so cool. So cool, man. Like, wow. So yeah, so that's where we at with it. I thought that was pretty cool. And also another thing about this gimbal, now let me see if it'll let me turn it to y'all. If you look at the grip here, this is the BG30 grip. I don't know if you guys can see this. You see these green lights down here? Now this tells you how much this battery is charged. Now, it gets up to 80% charge in about like, I think it said like 30 minutes or whatever. And then the green lights, there's actually 4 light bars. So once all 4 of them are illuminated, you can kind of just divide that by 4, 100, 75, 50, 25, you know how I go. And the green lights will tell you how much juice you have in this battery. So I think that's dope. Noticeable difference from the RS3 Mini. The RS3 Mini did not have that function at all on their grip. In fact, you can't detach the RS3 mini grip from the rest of the gimbal like you can with this one. So I think that's pretty dope. And like I said, this grip will get you up to 12 hours of battery life. So that was also a pretty cool thing. And of course, you know, this gimbal is built to support heavy cameras with heavier lenses, including telephoto lenses. And so all in all, I see why they call the DJI Ronin RS4 Pro the top of the line gimbal. This is as good as it gets when it comes to gimbals in the industry to this day. And then people just build their gimbals out in a way that's comfortable for them, depending on the type of work that they're doing. You see what I'm saying? So that's really all I have to say about this. And then you get this nice little briefcase with the handle. I think that's dope. Oh, it also comes with, it comes with one support arm, which I don't have on here. And the reason why I don't have it on here is because I'm not going to be using a one arm support. I don't think that's really what I want to do. I'd rather use a 2-arm support. Now with a 2-arm support, your arms are never really getting a break unless you have other things that can assist you with that. But with the 1-arm support, one arm is chilling and then you got it and you moving it like this. So I'm just gonna kind of like go back and forth between the two depending on what I'm doing. But it does come with a support arm. It also comes with a multi-camera control cable and also a USB-C charging cable, which you plug in right here at the bottom of the BG30 grip. And that's how you charge the grip. You know, that's what powers the rest of it. Now, I'm not heavy into like the camera industry or like camera usage or nothing like that. But from what I understand, the power from this could also power like other things that you have connected to your build. If you build it out and start adding like flashes and things that need power, you can actually use the power from this. How do you do it? I'm not the person to ask for that. But, you know, as I get further along on my content creation journey, I'm definitely going to be learning lots of things and figuring a lot of things out. So let me turn this gimbal off. And like I said, I have it set to where it'll lock itself in place and it's not gonna like fall over and collapse and turn your camera over. So let me just give you guys a brief demonstration of that real quick. First and foremost, let me zoom out back to where we were. All right, now check me out. I'm about to power the gimbal off. Watch what it does. You're probably gonna hear some clicks. Check me out. You see that? Nothing fell, nothing went nowhere. Everything stayed in place and these axes are locked. They're not moving. I think that's pretty dope. It's a great way to protect your camera, great feature to have. So this way, you know, your camera's not gonna fall over. Like, I think that's fire. You know, like, I've always wanted that on a gimbal. I always wondered, like, why don't they make it so that your gimbal ain't falling over and collapsing while you got the thing in your hand? Like, what's the point of having a support system if it's not gonna support, you know what I mean? So I'm glad they put that feature on there. I think that's really cool. And like I said, you can change those settings whenever you feel like it. So all in all, like I say, I love the DJI RS4 Pro gimbal. One of the best investments that I've ever made on my content creation journey since my 70 to 200 millimeter telephoto lens, which I love, by the way. Super excited for the things that I'm gonna get done with this gimbal. Super excited for just the types of content I'm gonna be creating and just all the things. So this is definitely like, if you wanna compete with the best of them, get your gimbal chops up and go ahead and get the RS4 Pro. You won't regret it. If you're just looking to buy one gimbal that you can have for the rest of your life and you just want to start with the top of the line and you got the bread, go ahead and invest, man. Like, I don't think that's a bad idea, but make sure you spend some time with it and really learn it. And so that's what I definitely want to do every single day. I'm practicing, getting my chops up. But I think I've said enough in this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have, I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you for rocking with me, and you already know how it goes. Till next time, peace.